Okay, so I'm starting, and hello to everybody. I am very glad to see everyone at our second round table. Yes. Also, our colleagues from Blauberg, Germany, Australia, China, and also from United States will be joined to us, to our round table together today in order to discuss past 2020 year. So this particular event is dedicated to novelties of decentralized and centralized units. Yes, and first decentralized we will discuss them at first part, and centralized novelties, centralized ERVs and HRVs will discuss at the final part of our round table. Also, let me remind you that you're welcome to visit our digital booth at ISH platform, so please sign up. There you will find much more information about novelties. And also, if you missed our Tuesdays, our first round table where we have discussed residential, industrial and smoke ventilation, so all this information is available at our digital booth. And now my suggestion is to spend few minutes to take a look at our workshop where we assemble small monoblock residential HRVs and also decentralized units, for example, like Micra. So, Evgeny Bodner, please, word to you.
As you can see, our workshop is loaded for 100%, didn't stop for a minute. Products are preparing to go to different parts of the world by land or sea or even in the sky. The demand for the air handling units is growing constantly since the pandemic events, even in countries without any government regulations for the air movement efficiency. And because of that, the pandemic pushed people to take a closer look to the ventilation. And now I turn the floor back to my colleagues, and we will move forward to another production line where we manufacture big units and big decentralized units.
Okay, so now let me start with presentation of novelties itself. I hope you see my presentation. I would like to begin with the brand new TwinFresh style unit. Yes, here you can see it on the screen. This is a residential push-pull single room ventilation unit with heat recovery. So let me skip general information about what push-pull means and how heat recovery works, because I'm sure that you're familiar with this kind of product. We already sell it for several years. So the TwinFresh style unit is the most advanced unit in Vent's assortment of push-pull units. This unit became possible, this development became possible thanks to active support and feedback from our clients and customers. So together we have collected a lot of experience during years of selling of our previous TwinFresh modifications. Yes, and let's go through some main points. We will not go deep into details about this unit because we are first limited in time, and second, you can find all the details at our digital booth and at our web page. Talking about assortment, yes, for better understanding of the TwinFresh style assortment, I have prepared this kind of diagram. The assortment can be divided into two halves because there are two control systems available. First, basic one without Wi-Fi. In this case, units must be connected with signal wire, and it have basic functions. And second one is advanced with Wi-Fi. In this case, the units can be connected by Wi-Fi, and mobile application provides much more rich functionality. In both cases, these units are available in three modifications. Yes. First, small one with 100mm duct. It is called TwinFresh Style Mini. Second, regular one, and the most popular one with 160 mm duct. It is called just twin fresh style. And the third modification for cold climate, it is called twin fresh style frost. Let's take a closer look at three basic units. Yes, first one is twin fresh style mini with 100 mm duct. The maximum airflow is 24 cubic meters per hour in ventilation mode. As you understand, meaning in heat recovery mode, this should be divided by half. Minimum operation temperature for this small unit is down to -15. Next month, a sample of this unit will be sent to Stuttgart for precise testing in independent third-party laboratory. So we expect the twin fresh style mini to show about 75% of heat recovery efficiency. And we will see, we will discuss with you, with our customers, whether we need a DABT certificate after that. We will see. Second, the twin fresh style unit, the regular one with a duct 160 millimeters. The maximum airflow of this unit is 50 cubic meters per hour. With this modification, we have significantly improved airflow sensitivity up to S3 class, according to European norm EN 13141-8. This is the best result among all our push-pull units. For your information, the airflow sensitivity parameter characterizes how wind pressure influences the operation of the unit. Minimum operation temperature of twin fresh style is down to -20, which is good. The unit was already tested in Stuttgart, and we can provide you with a test report on your demand. The twin fresh style did show 80% of heat recovery efficiency according to DABT, and from 78 to 90 according to EN 13141-8. According to this kind of European norm that is at the moment actual for European Union. Soon we will receive the DABT certificate for this unit based on the Stuttgart test report. And the third one, final unit in this assortment, is twin fresh style frost. It also has 160 millimeters duct, and it is made for a cold climate. We have managed to reduce operation temperature down to -30. So we have just added a heater into the outer hood that heats up an air a little bit when it is extremely cold outdoor. All the rest characteristics remain the same as regular twin fresh style unit. As I have already mentioned, the twin fresh style unit can be equipped with two control systems, with or without Wi-Fi. The basic control system without Wi-Fi has following functions. It can be controlled with the sensor buttons on the casing of the unit or with infrared remote control. There is a filter maintenance indication and alarm indication in case of failure. So user can activate night mode timer that will reduce speed to the lowest level for 8 hours, as well as party timer that will increase speed to the highest level for 4 hours. There is a built-in humidity sensor or external sensor can be connected by wire. This can be, for example, CO2, VOC or humidity sensor, yes? In order to unite many units into one ventilation system, they must be connected by signal wire. Now let's talk about advanced control system, which is equipped with Wi-Fi. It has all mentioned above functions plus additional ones. There is no need to install signal wire. All the units can be synchronized using Wi-Fi. Additional interfaces available like wireless wall-mounted control panel and smartphone application. The smartphone make it possible to control ventilation from all around the globe. Also, the user can adjust week schedule. That's in brief. Little bit of information about air damper built into the unit. So the new construction of air shutter guarantee maximum air tightness D class according EN 13141-8. Automatic actuator consumes electricity only while opening and closing. This reduces total power consumption and improves specific fan power of the unit. The unit can be supplied with or without an automatic actuator. At the right there is of the unit you can see a knob for manual opening and closing of the shutter. As you can see, the grill is located at the top of the unit. This directs supply air stream upwards, which is beneficial because the user will not feel drafts or cool air spread along the floor. And now, new fan and heat regeneration module were developed for the twin fresh style unit. Significant homework was done with new fan module. We have achieved S3 class for airflow sensitivity according to EN 13141-8. Also, we have managed to reach 50 cubic meters of airflow at low 1700 RPMs only, which results in low noise. As you can see, the fan module is separated from heat regeneration module. Yes, this gives following benefits: even distribution of airflow across the cross section of the heat regeneration, improves heat recovery efficiency, easy maintenance and replacement. And now let's talk about the most important push-pull ventilation unit for Blauberg company, the Vento Expert unit. This is one of the most advanced and successful unit at the market for the last several years, and we have prepared several improvements for this unit in order to guarantee its further success. And here they are. The certification of the ventilation equipment is highly important for the project sales, as you may know. Knowing that, we have already passed testing of the Blauberg Vento Expert version 3 unit according to European norm EN 13141-8 in Stuttgart laboratory. So this is independent laboratory that is certified to test this kind of units and all the other types. So now we are in the process of receiving this DIBT certificate. Improvements that we will see next made possible to achieve S3 class in airflow sensitivity and to reach one of the highest heat regeneration efficiency at the market. For example, it is from 78 up to 95% according to this European norm that I have already mentioned, or 82.2% according to DABT. So this is the best DABT heat recovery efficiency that we have achieved in all our products. We will be able to provide you with test reports on your request, of course. Once again, the new fan and heat regeneration modules were developed specifically for this unit, the Blauberg Vento Expert. So we have improved, as I have already mentioned, airflow sensitivity up to S3 in comparison with old cartridge. So previous modification was we didn't manage to get this good airflow sensitivity. RPMs were reduced from 1900 to 1700, still having 50 cubic meters per hour, and as a result we have reduced noise for Vento unit. Due to the fact that fan is located at warm part of the duct, the minimum operation temperature also reduced from -15 down to -20. So we have widened the diapason of application of the unit, diapason of operation. The fan module is separated from heat regeneration module. This gives following benefits: even distribution of air across the cross-section of the heat regeneration. This improved heat recovery efficiency. And in case of failure, we can replace the fan module only. Previously, we had to replace all the cartridge together with the regenerator. So now repairment will become cheaper and more easy, more simple. Old modification of the VentoExpert unit, thermal actuator was I'm talking about old modification. Yes, in old modification, so thermal actuator was powered on continuously during operation of the fan in order to keep shutters open. In the new modification, we have applied new press to open mechanism for the air shutter. It gives possibility to power the thermal actuator for short period of time only. First press to open shutter, yes, and second press to close the shutters. During normal operation of the fan, the power supply of the thermal actuator is turned off. So as a result, VentoExpert V3 has a lower power consumption. So maximum power consumption dropped down to 5.2 watts and improved specific fan power. There are several more less significant improvements that I will skip because of limited time of our event. So they will be announced to you at separate full presentation of this unit. Now I would like to tell you about the hybrid unit. This name, the hybrid, was given to this unit for purpose because there are two different scenarios of application of these units. First, as a decentralized single room unit. In this case, the unit is covered with white decorative cover like you see on the picture. It can be suspended under the ceiling in a small classroom or office. Second scenario, as a centralized unit in order to ventilate small apartment. In this case, there is no need in white decorative cover. The unit can be suspended under the ceiling or fixed on the wall. Here you can see decentralized and centralized solutions, how it looks. So, and here's the assortment that we propose. At the top part of the table, you can see 3 units for decentralized application. First, the Hybrid Max S14 is the unit with basic control system S14. Second one, the Hybrid Max S21 is the same unit but with advanced S21 control system. At the end of this roundtable, we will discuss this control system in more details. Third, the Hybrid Max E S21, where the letter E stands for electrical preheater that is integrated into the unit. All decentralized modifications are equipped with automatic air shutter, air dampers and bypass. At the bottom part of the unit of the table, you can see 4 units for centralized application. These are either with S14 or S21 control system and either left or right modification. The hybrid units for centralized applications are not equipped with air dampers because they are mostly not needed in this case. Bypass also is not needed because the power consumption is less than 30 watts for each fan, which is allowed by the Eco Design regulation. Before I talk about typical application of the unit, it is important to highlight main benefit and main characteristics that differs this unit from all the rest at the market. of the construction, yes? Each spigot can be connected to the case in 3 positions. You can see it at the slide, yes? Such a flexibility makes it possible to install the unit at tight spaces and to connect the duct to the unit more simple. Let's discuss typical centralized application precisely now. At this slide you can see 2 small apartments. In the left apartment, the hybrid unit is installed under the ceiling in the small corridor. Thanks to adjustable position of the spigots, we have managed to connect duct in compact manner and to place the unit in a tight space of the corridor. In this case, the unit is located between the false ceiling and the concrete overlap between floors. The maintenance can be done through the revision door in the false ceiling. It is available as an accessory and developed strictly for this unit. I mean, the dimensions of the revision door correspond to dimensions of the unit. At the right apartment, the hybrid unit is installed in the wardrobe in the corridor. It is hanged on the wall in vertical position. The same flexible adjustment of the spigot location make it possible to connect all the ducts from the ceiling in compact manner. Also, the unit can be applied as a decentralized solution in the social buildings, for example, small classrooms or offices. The spigots can be directed either in horizontally through the wall or vertically through the ceiling. The optional decorative cover is applied in this case. It provides additional noise attenuation and has built-in supply grill at front and extract grill at the right. Talking about construction, the fans are equipped with EC motors. Impellers with forward curved blades are selected in order to provide low noise. Enthalpic heat exchanger is installed as a default in order to reduce condensation. Also, it is worth mentioning that enthalpic heat exchanger can work with lower temperatures because it does not freeze as much as, for example, plastic heat exchanger, because plastic heat exchanger keeps the water between the plates and it gets frozen, while enthalpic heat exchanger transfers the water through the membrane to exhaust air stream or to supply air stream, depending on what is more humid. So in case the humidity of extract air is lower than 45%, which is normal for winter conditions, there would be no condensate at all, yes? But we must keep in mind that if humidity of extract air is from 45 to 70%, the drain pan would be needed to collect some condensate. The decentralized modification of the hybrid unit is equipped with automatic air shutter as supply and exhaust spigots. This is the requirement of eco-design, that all decentralized units must be equipped with them. This shutter is guaranteed complete air tightness when the unit is turned off. There will be no drafts in the premises. Also, decentralized modification is equipped with bypass. Truly saying, there is no need in bypass from the point of eco-design view, because power consumption is low, it is below 30 watts per fan. It is installed in the hybrid max modification just to provide maximum comfort, considering small classrooms as one of the main applications. At the same time, we decided not to apply the bypass in the centralized modification of the units in order to simplify it as much as possible. The most advanced modification of the decentralized modification of hybrid max E unit also has electric preheater built in. It is installed there to perform freezing protection and maintain balanced ventilation. All the rest modifications utilize supply fan stop to protect heat exchanger from freezing. It is worth mentioning that both types of freezing protection guarantee normal operation of the unit down to -25. We have tested them in our climatic chamber, and test reports can be sent to you upon your request. Two types of control systems are available for the hybrid unit. These are S14 and S21. So first one is the basic one and second one is the advanced. We will discuss, as I already have mentioned, S21 in the final part of our roundtable. Two optional sensors can be built into the unit. These are humidity and CO2 sensor, which must be bought separately. I have already told that. So on the picture you can see humidity one is the smallest sensor and bigger white one is CO2 sensor. Also there is a possibility to connect external sensors, for example the same humidity, CO2, VOC or even PM 2.5. But for more details please refer to the manual because there is some specifics depending on the control system type. We have adjusted speeds as shown on the diagram. Our target operation point for maximum speed is 125 cubic meters per hour at 100 Pascal. Minimum and medium speed were adjusted for 60 and 90 cubic meters per hour correspondingly. Enthalpy heat exchanger did show from 78 to 87% of efficiency. As you can see, the power consumption is 51 watt or lower. Our goal was not to exceed 30 watts per fan so that we could sell the unit without bypass and still correspond eco design regulations. Minimum operation temperature is -25. But we must keep in mind that if the unit is placed in humid environment, the condensation can appear at outer surface of it. Compact dimensions and flexible position of the 125 mm spigot make it possible to install the unit in tight spaces. Following new product that I would like to announce is the new Micra Unit. Before the development of this unit, we have put such targets: reduction of noise, reduction of the dimensions, and possibility to build the unit into the wall. Let's start from typical applications. At this slide you can see two small apartments. In both of them, the unit is built into the outer wall. The front decorative panel is visible on the surface of the wall only. Two short ducts installed directly through the wall to outdoor. These are fresh air intake from outdoor and stale air exhaust to outdoor. Two semi-rigid ducts, FlexiVent, are connected to the unit in order to extract air from the bathroom. Orange lines. At the right apartment, you can see that two supply semi-rigid ducts, FlexiVent, are connected to the Micra unit, purple lines. In this case, fresh air is supplied to the room through the separate diffuser. This solution reduces noise and gives maximum comfort to the people in the room. At the left apartment, no optional supply ducts are connected. The supply grill is integrated into the unit and it is used. This simplifies an installation. Following typical application is installation of the unit on the surface of the wall. So it is not hidden into the wall, yes? No optional supply and extract ducts are connected to the unit in this case. So there are supply and extract grills in the unit's case directly. 2 or more units can be installed in one office room if needed. Target operation point for the Micra, for this specific Micra, is 60 cubic meters per hour at 100 Pascal. Heat recovery efficiency is 85% at this point. Power consumption is 53 watts or lower. Our goal is to achieve 25 dBAs at 60 cubic meters per hour. We will finish acoustic testing soon and we will see the real numbers. Minimum operation temperature is -15. There would be no preheater and afterheater in this unit. Supply fan stop freezing protection only. Here you can see construction of the modification that should be installed on the surface of the wall. You can recognize it by supply and exhaust grills in the right and left sides of the unit. We have applied next elements in the construction. Supply and exhaust fan with Blauberg AC motors, impeller with forward curved blades to achieve low noise. Air shutters are built into the unit in order to correspond eco-design requirements to decentralized ventilation. Heat exchanger is made from polystyrene, but enthalpic heat exchanger is available on special request. Drain pan collects condensate from the heat exchanger and evacuates it outdoor through the exhaust duct. And now, modification that should be installed into the wall is displayed. All internal elements are the same. There are only a few differences. To extract and supply semi-rigid ducts can be connected to the casing optionally, so you can see them at the top of the unit. Of course, the unit can operate without those ducts connected. For this purpose, supply and extract grills are integrated into the decorative front cover. There is a extract grill at the bottom and supply grill at the top. So supply air is directed to the top. Here you can see dimensions of the unit, and it is approximately width is 500 millimeters and height is 840 millimeters of smaller, as you understand. So we have managed to reduce dimensions comparing to our other Micra modifications that we have in our assortment, for example Micra 100. Thickness of this modification that should be installed on the wall is 194 millimeters. In case the unit is installed into the wall, thickness of decorative cover is only 58 millimeters, so pretty nice view, as you understand. Automatic shutters, supply and exhaust air dampers are applied. This Micra unit will be equipped with Wi-Fi in order to be controlled by mobile application. At the moment we are in the process of development of this control system. That is, as soon as we finish this process, we will put it into serial production. So this is the plan for this 2021 year. 2 optional sensors can be built into the unit. These are humidity sensor and CO2 sensor, which must be bought separately. Also, there will be a possibility to connect external sensors. Just in brief, let me remind you about our range of decentralized units for schools and other social premises called civic units. I will not spend time on explaining of the benefits of decentralized versus centralized and on explaining of characteristics of the unit. We will have separate webinar dedicated to these units today at 3:30 p.m. So you're welcome to visit and to listen. So if simplified, assortment of the Civic units can be divided into two parts: units for ceiling and floor installation. Each type has 3 units in a range: 3, 5, and 10 or 12 hundredths of cubic meters per hour. So, and here are some photos for you understanding how it looks at real projects. For example, this is a project in Germany. This is a reference from Denmark, South Korea, and Ukraine. So I'm done with the first part of novelties. At this point I'm done. Talking about decentralized ventilation, I would like to pass the word to CEO of Blauberg Ventilatoren, Martin von der Larmi. Martin, do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You hear me?
Perfect, yes. So please, word to you.
Okay, my name is Martin von der Larmi, and I'm the CEO of Blauberg Ventilatoren in Germany. Maybe not everybody knows me. So some words about COVID activities. So COVID actions have led to the change of the general working basis during last year. Many contacts at all customers and other construction parties worked mostly from the home office. This made new customer acquisition more difficult and slowed down project development processes. We therefore successfully increased our digital presence. Among other things, we, with videos for builders, resellers, and installers to explain the ventilation solution and held online. Due to the strong increase of home office workplaces in all areas, private users have become more aware of their units in their houses or apartments. From there, very interesting, came more inquiries about the function and the maintenance of our ventilation unit, which we were also able to cover through videos. Ventilation in schools is a special chapter. So for us, it's the Civic units. Very interesting. The German government has mistakenly subsidized only air purification devices, but not new ventilation systems with heat recovery. In the German language trade press and through our largest association for ventilation technology, there's a sharp criticism for this short-sighted step. Because even with air purification units, the windows still have to be opened for fresh air, and the children still freeze in the classroom. This has also been confirmed to me by my own children who are in different schools. The picture is that far too few schools have requested our solution of Civic systems due to a lack of know-how. We continue to do strong educational work here. Overall, however, the COVID situation has gradually increased awareness among all customer groups that air is a foodstuff and reasonable actions with fresh air and heat recovery are available. Altogether, the year 2020 was very successful. There were no restrictions on the construction of the buildings. Only in-person customer appointments were postponed or cancelled in the beginning. We solved that by having a digital presence. There was a strong increase for Civic units for schools, but also for offices. However, still far too low due to faulty promotion by the German government. Now for this year, we see following developments. The planning and building permit process are still lengthening due to home office activities, also in building offices of the communities. This is where the approvals for new construction or renovation takes place. Heating manufacturers and other home building products that are heavily dependent on control electronics are currently facing serious delays in delivery times, which are likely to increase. This will delay the completion of the process for buildings in this year additional. But the do-it-yourself segment will continue to increase as users retrofit their own ventilation systems in their houses. This will continue to show up in the online sales also as it did in 2020. To summarize, for the next few years, mechanical ventilation for buildings will become increasingly important, and there is hardly any manufacturer that offers such a complete range of products as a solution like the Blauberg Group. So we have the chance to serve the increased desire for ventilation and at the same time achieve good growth and great success for us and also for our partners. Thank you very much for your attention. I give the floor to Justin Smith in Australia.
Thank you very much, Martin, and good evening to everyone from Australia. 2020 was an interesting year here in Australia and also our close neighbours in New Zealand. COVID threw up a lot of issues here. Yes, we had the same problems as what you've had in Europe and other parts of the world where a lot of people ended up working from home. Doing meetings basically was done the way we're doing it now through Zoom and other media platforms, and being able to get out and see people basically became impossible. So we also had a lot of problems here in Australia with logistics in terms of getting product over from Europe and also from getting product from Asia as well. That caused a lot of problems, and to a certain degree it's still causing problems in 2021 for us here. Before COVID happened, we had very extreme fires here the 2020 summer through November and to the end of February in 2020, and that raised a lot of issues regarding indoor air quality. And with COVID that's occurred since then, it's raised those issues again. In Australia, we don't have the regulations like you do in the EU for indoor air quality. Our regulations are actually a lot to be desired. And with COVID and with the fires that have happened, we're now starting to get some movement from state and also federal government regarding indoor air quality. And we see changes happening probably this year and into next year with our indoor air quality for homes, but also for schools, commercial buildings, especially for our offices, which will allow people to come back in and work in a safe, healthy environment where indoor air quality becomes important. Totally agree with what Martin is saying, is that Blauberg Group as a whole is very well positioned to supply a high quality product and applications for our worldwide partners all around the world and also here in Australia, and to provide those solutions that are required. So the dynamics in the market are definitely changing. We had a very good 2020 here in Australia. We saw a lot of people that were spending money on DIY, spending money on their homes here in Australia. And we had a lot of grants coming in from the Australian government, federal government, to support that. And people couldn't travel, couldn't spend money on holidays, so they ended up spending money on their homes, and that also helped us out. A lot of people were going to stores. We have a big chain of stores here called Bunnings, which is a big DIY retail hardware stores. A lot of people couldn't go into the stores. They created a click and collect where people would order online. They would basically go to the door, the product would come out to them, be put in the boot of their car, and they'd drive away with their product. Those buying patterns still continue today, and that's something we've seen a change in. Certainly seen a change in the way people are purchasing a product, more information online, more people wanting to purchase online. For 20 through our own company, basically market some bad situations last year which caused problems with construction, but those problems have been alleviated, and we see a strong growth into 2021. So we're certainly well positioned here. So that's a little bit about Australia and about New Zealand, and I'd like to now hand over to Bo, who's the CEO of Blauberg in China.
Abo, please, word to you.
Hello, everybody. I'm located in Suzhou now. Suzhou maybe is foreign for all of you. It's near Shanghai, about 16 kilometers from Shanghai. So this is our sales office. Here, I just share some information for so big and strange market. You can hear me? Hello? Okay. Generally, I think for China market is very late developed. About 20 years ago, that European brand take ventilation product to home place. But in that case, China regular customer are still very aware of this kind of product. They just can promote this ventilation product to develop the system. In that case, so until now, most of the sales come from for ventilation products in China still in develop project. After in 2030, because of PM 2.5, more concerned by people, then regular customer care about the health relative to the pollution, and in that time they recognize it's helpful come from the ventilation products. So fortunately, we are in the China market on 2014. In that case, that period we have a break up of the market. So after this 7 years of development, we have some result in China market. Peter, if I can share my screen, if I can share my screen.
Yes, please.
You can see here, right now in China, Peter, you can see my screen. Okay. So we have developed all our distributed system cover all China provinces. So we have more than 150 distributed in whole China. We have about this kind of showroom whole China nationwide about 262. I think this kind of sales system is something more different from European market. Usually we are sell this product in construction material market. It's not in DIY market. So it's very specially sales market. And here is some of our agent system. Each year we have some agent meeting. Unfortunately, this year we also cannot hold this kind of agent meeting. Martin, you have joined our this appearance in Beijing. Next is about the product what we sold in China right now. Because of so big area in China, we have 5 different climate zone in China. So the product in different area is something even totally different. In north of China, they're more, because of the building is more no leakage, is a high thermal solution. So they more care about the energy recovery. In south of China, they more just care about even something like in Hong Kong, Taiwan, even maybe in something like in Australia. They more like easy ventilation product like duct fan. They don't care about the energy recovery. And also in this kind of area, because of humidity problem, so the more popular product here we show in dehumidifier products. And a lot of products we are very popular here is for duct system. All our customer and our showroom can found this kind of, we call it blow-fast system. It's very popular after we pure imported from European market. So we get, I think Blauberg right now is the #1 sales for this kind of duct system in China. This is for regular thermostatic products. Second, very important sales channel for China is the passive house projects. After in 2020, President Xi Jinping promised to cut the carbon emission to zero, increase zero until 2060. We already get some policy support from the government to push green building. Even this is called passive house building. Its influence much started from last year. And 5 years ago, when I recognized we have a PHI certificated products, I've started promotion this products in China. So in this 5 years promotion, we get some imagination in consultant in studio. So last year we get about 11 projects for passive house. It's a really good result right now. This is generally about product line for passive house. Third, we also have some online sales for decentralized unit. Vento is the most popular in this sales channel, and the most common also. Here is about the product. I will back to my words. About the next developer of China in 2021, I think because of China people get more, how to say, rich, they more care about health. So right now, when we promote ventilation to their household, they are more easy to accept rather than 10 years ago. So recently, each year of ventilation products in these 5 years, about 20% increase each year. And the Blauberg China right now get increase last year, about 31% increase. So generally, I think it's a huge opportunity to Blauberg China. And also for decentralized unit, because of so many old houses in China, previously maybe new construction develop very quickly, but right now after this 40 years developed, more and more old house and few new building. So decentralized for our old house will be a big chance for us also. So in 2021, I think is a good opportunity for Blauberg China. And until today, this code, we finished about 45% increase compared last year. Surely last year we are influenced by the pandemic, but generally right now there's no any influence by pandemic in China. So I think we will all have a good opportunity in this period. Thanks. That's my all shareman of Blauberg China.
Okay, Zoltan, word to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Okay. My name is Zoltan Bodor. I'm responsible for the North American market, mainly Canada and United States. 2020 outcomes were positive, but we only recognize it on the third quarter of the year. Regulation did not change in early 2020. Customers' behavior was changed and moved to bigger size units. The reason behind this, many studies shows the virus can't spread as fast with ventilation as no ventilation. In USA, during presidential debates, the magic word was mentioned 3 times, ventilation. You love that word, don't you? Many states and regions created their own regulation. Some territories did not allow schools to be open without proper ventilation. 60% of schools today have no upgrades since the 70s in the United States. This opportunity gives us some advantages. The problem is we need to act 5 times faster than usual with product development. At this point, HRVs, schools, and many other ventilation. In schools, let's drink. In the news, UV implemented application was started, and now schools looking for UV lights. But the interesting things here, they also knows already ERVs and HRVs. When we told the school managers the UV light is still not available, they said solutions needed right away, not 3 months from now. Filtration is now a very important matter. Before the pandemic, families do not make enough attention to replace the filters in timely manner. Now they do. Additionally, regulations are tightened for schools. Minimum requirement is MERV 13 filters. Filtration is an additional starting business which will grow exponentially according to our findings. The coronavirus pandemic has pushed many shoppers to make their purchases online, as many physical retail outlets across the world are either closed due to lockdown or have limited capabilities to maintain social distancing. Consumers spent $861 billion online with US retailers in 2020, up to 42% from 2019, which was $600 billion. Online spending replaced 21% total of the retailers. We expect this growth to continue this year, reaching $1 trillion in 2022. The pandemic has served and accelerated too many industries, pushing them year ahead for where their natural growth would have to otherwise taken them. E-commerce benefited from this trend as well as consumers faced stay-at-home orders. Non-essential retailers closed their doors and in-person shopping was replaced with online commerce for many consumers. The pandemic itself produced a rare step change in online spending, equal 20% boost, and noted this impact will continue even as the pandemic comes to the end in the months to come, which means online sales is necessary to focus for our group. The product descriptions must be mastered all the way to the perfections. Means animation videos, installation videos, 360 degrees product photographs has to be developed. Benefits of the products videos also must be developed. Videos are necessary to sell the products online. In US, United States, the citizen attitude did not change during pandemic. Consumers select the products with clear documentation, but the nicer video sells first, because to read something also harder than watch a video. To invest into this field is very important. Prediction for 2021 can be bright if we're able to overcome our weaknesses. Blauberg can't be a follower, must be a leader. Now I'm passing the word to our host, to Mr. Petro Hubenyo.
Thank you, Zoltan, and thank you to all of you. So that were very nice and fruitful speeches. Yes, and once again, I'm pleased that we all together are here today at this round table. So we are ready to proceed with novelties in centralized HRVs. Yes, but before that, I would ask Evgeny Bodnar to show workshop where we assemble big industrial air handling units and some big decentralized air handling units. So Evgeny, please.
Can you hear me? Is it okay? So we are now in another workshop And here we produce Blauberg units and civic decentralized units for school premises, as well as for residential units. This workshop was a bit reorganized to ensure, first of all, safety of the workers. And as you can see, production is ongoing with significant delays as for residential AHU and decentralized AHU. And this year we also have a growth of demand for decentralized units for school premises in the pandemic events. And thanks to the fact that all key components are produced inside of the Blauberg Group, as like motors by Blauberg Motoren and heat exchangers by Zern Engineering. This allows us to minimize delays in product delivery. So due to all of this, I want to thank you all that you are staying with us. And before I turn floor back to the showroom, I want to invite you also to the webinars of our group. Today, it's a webinar by my colleague about decentralized units, and tomorrow it's a webinar by me about residential solutions by Blauberg Group. So thank you again, and I turn the floor back to the studio.
Thank you. So, give me a second to start the presentation. Just now you've seen the workshop where we assemble big industrial air handling units with heat recovery including, yes, and I would like to start third section of this roundtable with this particular range of products. And before that, let me remind you that on Tuesday 23rd of March we had a separate webinar about Blauberg units. So detailed information about this range of products was given then. Today I will just remind you main aspects. This is the range of standardized commercial air handling units that can be selected from the catalog or using online selection software. The Blauberg units have frameless casing, 2 layers of metal with galvanized coating and 40 millimeters of mineral wool between them. Fans with EC motors and impellers with backward curved blades. And there are 2 control systems available. One basic, it is based on Carlo controller, and another one is based on our own controller S21. They have pretty much the same functionality with the small differences, and you can select any of them depending on the preferences of your market or your sales team. Frameless casing has a unique construction where thermal bridges are excluded. S21 control system can be controlled by mobile application, touchscreen, wall-mounted control panel, or connecting to building management system. Rotary or plate counterflow heat exchangers are available. Rotary heat exchangers can be made either with regular or enthalpic technology. Counterflow heat exchangers can be made from plastic or aluminum depending on size of the unit. So let's go through the model range of Blauberg units, yes, and first model range is Cfp units. These are ceiling mounted units with counterflow heat exchanger. Unit available in 8 sizes, airflow from 500 cubic meters and up to 6,000 cubic meters per hour. And ducts are horizontal. Next range is CFV. V stands for vertical. It must be mounted on the floor and it has counterflow heat exchanger inside. Yes, and you can see this is kind of vertical units. It is available in 5 sizes, airflow from 1500 up to 6000 cubic meters per hour. Floor-mounted units CFH, where H, as you can understand, it stands for horizontal. Yes, in this range we have 7 units, 7 sizes, and airflow from 800 up to 9000 cubic meters per hour. And here you can see rotary ceiling suspended range RP. R means rotor, P means ceiling suspended, don't ask. It has horizontal ducts, 3 sizes only, and airflow from 800 up to 2500 cubic meters per hour. This is floor-mounted unit with rotor heat exchanger, range called RH. 8 sizes available from 800 to 8000 cubic meters per hour. And the vertical range RV range with rotary heat exchanger inside, 7 sizes, airflow from 800 to 6000 cubic meters per hour. Let me remind you that all of these units are like standardized. Yes, they can. We manufacture them and sell the same as monoblock units for residential application, so they are easy to be selected from our catalog. But in case you want to calculate characteristics in specific operation point, for these purposes our selection software will help you, and you can find it by the link on the screen or at our web page. So let's continue with residential solution, new residential solutions that we already have in serial production or developing. So this particular unit is that I want to show you is called Comfort Ecs B250. It is wall-mounted vertical unit that we are at the final stage of putting into serial production. We will begin serial production next month, and at the moment we have already prepared a sample to be sent to Stuttgart laboratory for testing, and after that we will receive DIBT certificates and test reports according EN 13141-7. And the main difference, what makes this unit different from all the others, is it is very narrow. It's only 56 centimeters width, which make it easy to install in a wardrobe, for example, or in a kitchen cabinet. So you understand my point, yes? We call it Comfort Ecs B250, but real airflow, maximum airflow of the unit is a little bit higher. It is up to 370 cubic meters per hour at 0 Pascal. And according to our internal tests, we have reached up to 95 at some small 95% of heat recovery efficiency at some small airflow. Later I will show you the diagram. 2 heat exchangers can be applied in this unit. First one is made from polystyrene. Yes, it gives us the highest efficiency that we can reach. And second is made from enthalpic membrane. Yes, heat recovery efficiency is a little bit lower, but thanks to the recuperation of humidity, it gives us a little bit higher level of comfort. As you can see, this unit should be installed on the wall or on the floor in vertical position, so it has spigots at the top. And it worth mentioning that unit with a preheater is available. It has low noise and SFP, and narrow width. We have already talked about narrow width. Talking about product range, at this diagram you can see maximum simplified product range of this particular unit. Yes, two control systems are available, advanced S21 and basic one S14. If we are talking about advanced, so we can select either to buy unit with preheater or without. If we are talking about basic unit, unfortunately no electrical preheater is available. So, few words about characteristics. You can see diagram on the screen. These characteristics were tested in our internal laboratory, yes, but in a month we will have test reports from Stuttgart laboratory, yes. I'm sure that they will show the same data, but it is always good to have test reports from third-party independent laboratory, yes, in order to convince the consultants and customers that characteristics are trustful and in order to sell the units in projects. Design. So all internal elements are classical ones, but construction differs from all the rest of our units. First, it worth mentioning that we will have two cases, left-hand case and right-hand case, in order to install them in different positions, left-oriented and right-oriented. It is useful, for example, when you have when you put this unit in a project, yes, and you have like mirrored apartments in the project. So we have already mentioned about heat exchangers. So there are two types, yes, plastic one and enthalpic one. We have already mentioned about fans with forward curved blades, impeller and EC motor inside. Yes, they give extremely low noise, so these characteristics would be very competitive for this unit. And it worth mentioning that this unit has a bypass with Belima actuator inside and optional preheater of course. Units dimension. As you understand, the most important dimension of the unit, of the vertical wall-mounted unit, is width, and we've managed to make it only 56 centimeters wide. This would be very beneficial when you will try to install this unit in a wardrobe or in a kitchen cabinet. Heaters, so the unit with or without heater is available. I will tell you that it should be installed at the factory, so if you want unit with heater, you should pre-order it from the factory. So I wouldn't recommend you to try to install heater after the unit is already at a site. And advanced control system gives us a possibility to connect any kind of cooler, external cooler, I mean duct one. So it can be either water or freon based cooler. As I have already mentioned, control system is very advanced. So you can connect the unit to building management system versus using different ways. For example, this can be a Wi-Fi, this can be a RS485, or this can be a Ethernet. So you can connect it to Modbus TCP or select any other protocol. So also mobile application is available, and you have very rich functionality in that mobile application, both for user and for installer. And later I will name some benefits of it. So 3 optional control panels can be bought. Let me say that you can buy unit without any control panel and just control it with your smartphone. That would be enough. It will work 100%, you will have 100% functionality. But if you want to install anything on your wall, in order to control it, you can select either wired S22 with simple basic 6 buttons, or S22 Wi-Fi that will communicate with units through Wi-Fi, that will simplify job for installer, that there will be no need to install control wire between the wall-mounted control panel and the unit itself. Or you can install advanced S25 control panel on the wall with touch screen, and they will have the same rich functionality as you have in your smartphone. You can connect up to 4 different sensors to the unit. This would be relative humidity, VOC, CO2 or PM 2.5. And in case of anything went wrong, an alarm will appear in your smartphone, and you will have detailed description what is going on, what should be maintained or repaired. Also your unit can be connected to the cloud server. This would be useful for the maintenance of the unit and to control the unit from any part of the world. In more details, I will tell you at the final part of this round table. So let's continue with the unit that we already sell about a year. We call it Comfort EC D5B 180, and it is made from EPP. So it has a lot of advantages. Just in brief, main characteristics like airflow up to 220 cubic meters per hour, yes. Heat recovery efficiency is extremely high thanks to polystyrene heat exchanger inside, but also you can order the same unit with enthalpic heat exchanger. EPP casing, it is very good technology of production of the casing of the unit, yes. It make it very light. Only one installer can install it, for example, suspend the unit under the ceiling. In total, unit weighs about 18-20 kilograms. You can take a look and get exact number in our catalog. So, and flexible installation. So on next slide, I would like to highlight this particular feature. So you can install it in almost any position you imagine. First of all, the most popular one is to suspend it under the ceiling. Then you can install it vertically on the wall or horizontally on the wall. So this is very nice feature for installer and consultants also. I'm sure that you know typical how this unit should be applied, but in brief, let me show typical application where the unit is suspended under the ceiling in technical room, yes. At this slide you can see apartment. Let's imagine that this is an apartment in the multi-story building, and the unit is used together with Blaufast semi-rigid duct system. There are 2 distribution boxes. One distribution boxes extract air from kitchen, utility room and bathroom, and other distribution boxes supplies fresh air to the living spaces like bedrooms. Technical characteristics, I will not spend a lot of time on this because you can find it on our webpage and in our catalog, or you can, and please visit our digital booth. Yes, please register there and you will see some useful and interesting information. So if there is a need for additional comfort, you can connect external inline afterheater, or if there is a need to install this unit in some cold climate, you can connect external inline preheater. So 2 types of heaters can be connected, and this is thanks to our advanced control system. The same way you can connect external inline water or fan cooler. So we have already mentioned about communication and interface possibilities of this control system, so I will skip that. And the same batch of sensors. And of course, cloud server. Following range that I would like to remind you is the new range of rotary units made for residential application. They are designed to be suspended on the wall in vertical position. So, and the most popular unit in this series is Comfort Rotor Ecs E280. You can see it on the slide at the moment. Some interesting feature about this range of products, that all of these units have 5 spigots at the top. Why 5, you would ask? Because fifth one is supposed to be connected to the kitchen hood. So in this case, kitchen hood is supposed to be without a fan. Gases from your kitchen would be transported to the unit. Fan impeller of the unit would evacuate those gases to outdoor. But at the same time, these gases, they will not pass heat exchanger. The only thing that we utilize power of the fan to extract air from your kitchen. And some characteristics, this particular unit has airflow 300 cubic meters per hour and relatively high S4 rotary unit heat recovery efficiency from 81 to 90%. Also, it is available with or without comfort heater. But truly saying, the most popular one is with a comfort heater. At this slide you can see in brief model range. So there are 4 units and nominal airflows are 200, 280, 400 and the maximum one is 600 cubic meters per hour. So this is more than enough for residential application. If you have commercial application, you can refer to Blauberg Unit that we were talking at the beginning of this part, yes. So let's proceed. So typical application, of course, and here we can see once again an apartment, but as you can see, ventilation system differs a little bit. So as you can see, there is a line here. Kitchen hood is connected directly to the unit. So gases from the kitchen hood are extracted by the unit, yes, and then evacuated outdoor. And in this case we also show Blaufast semi-rigid duct system connected to the unit, but supply distribution box is installed on the floor, and supply ducts are installed in the construction of the floor. This is one of the most efficient ways to ventilate house or apartment when the supply air gets from the floor grills. From the other hand, extract grills are located at the ceilings of the dirty premises like kitchen, utility room and bathroom. This is standard solution and it is efficient solution, so we can recommend to use it like that in all your projects. Characteristics. Let's not spend time on that because you can find them in our catalog. And the same advanced S21 control system is applied in this range of product. Maybe you have already understood that this is versatile universal control system that is applied to most of our product ranges, and this gives us flexibility in selling of the unit, and yes, and it simplifies maintenance, replacement and so on. So let's skip it and let's talk about some advanced features of S21 control system. So as you understand, mobile application has very rich functionality both for end user and engineer. whether it is installer or consultant or service engineer. User's interface is extremely simple. It is extremely simple. You have only the main information on the main screen and like on-off buttons and 3 speeds. And just for additional information, there is a air quality information and status of the unit. Also, it has 2 timers, most used timers. This is a party timer. You can adjust it whether to high or low speed and for any period of time. And also it has a week schedule. So talking about interface, simple wall-mounted panel made of glass with 6 buttons is available. So there you have only 3 speeds. There is a summary cooling mode and 2 indicators. One indicator shows when filters should be maintained, and second indicator, alarm indicator, shows when something is wrong. In this case, you can either look in your mobile phone and it will explain you what is wrong, or you can call to your service company and service engineer will help you in this case. Also, this wall-mounted control panel is available in 2 modifications, either wired one where you need to connect panel with the controller with the unit itself by the wire, or Wi-Fi modification, more simple installation, and control panel communicates with the unit through Wi-Fi. And also advanced touch screen control panel is available. It is called S25. You would ask what is the most popular among them. Of course, the most popular is in the middle. It is S22. So, talking about air quality sensor, I have already mentioned that all types of quality sensors can be connected. Also, it is important to know that you can, in our catalog, you can find these quality sensors and you can order them. You can find humidity, VOC, CO2. The only thing that we do not propose PM 2.5. But in case that our quality sensor doesn't fit your needs in any reason, for example, design or any other reason, you can select any other sensor at the market. As you know, for example, if we are talking about CO2 sensors, some of them they have operation range from 0 to 2 parts per million. Others they have up to 5,000 parts per million. And both of them will fit to our control system, because our control system can be adjusted to that particular sensor that you buy. So this is very comfortable for our installers and our partners. And these are the sensors that you can find in our model range, yes. And also there is a temperature sensor in a wall-mounted control panel. Some of the sensors can be installed directly inside of the unit. For example, this is humidity sensor, and other sensors can be installed on the wall and connected by wire to the unit. Let's talk about connectivity. Yes, so you can connect unit to the building management system using that type of communication that is most comfortable for you at your project. This can be either RS485 or Wi-Fi or Ethernet cable. We have developed Modbus protocol. Yes, it is built into our controller, so it would be easy to connect with Modbus TCP. Talking about other options of this control system, this could be preheater, reheater, or different kind of coolers that I have already mentioned at previous slides. And also drain pan can be connected. So let me spend a little bit more time on the connectivity on the cloud server. So let's imagine that you can connect your unit to the cloud server, and it gives you a possibility to control to turn off the vent and on and ventilation from any part of the world, or to control its status. Yes, but that is of course good and nice feature, but that is not the main benefit of it. First of all, the main benefit of it is that you can share access to your service engineer, the company that you deal with, yes, and in case something is wrong, your service engineer will receive an alarm, and he will see that, for example, something's wrong with your unit and supply fan must be replaced. In this case, he already knows what is wrong, and he can take the supply fan from the warehouse and come to you and replace it very fast. So this is like typical scenarios, yes? So connection of the unit to the cloud server simplifies job of service engineer. That means that experience of the user would be improved to the next level. So this is all I wanted to tell you about our novelties at today's roundtable. I hope that you've asked questions in questions and answers. You can ask them in the questions and answers below, and I will try to spend few minutes on answering them. So I can see that there is already first question, yes, and Volodymyr Chuprina is asking about 3D models for MagiCAD and Revit for project development. Thank you for the question. So yes, we have already developed up to 100 of 3D models specifically for Revit. And we have started the process of downloading them to our webpage. You can already find some of them there, and soon you will find more and more. So we are in that process. So this year we will close this issue, and you will be able to integrate all the models into your working space in Revit. So please, I'm waiting for your additional questions.
All right then.
Oh, Zoltan, do you have questions?
Yes, for the hybrid unit, the motorized damper, when we lost power, yes? The damper gonna close or stop, where is that?
Yes, but we lose power, so it consumes power only when it is closing or opening. During normal operation, it does not consume any power.
When we lose power, electricity goes away. What the damper does, is gonna close or not, or stuck, where is that?
No, so it is not spring loaded. So it will just stop in that position where it was.
Thank you.
My pleasure. So I can see that there are some questions in the chat, yes? Nevertheless, I will mention that there was a question about difference between different push-pull models in our range, yes? I would say that this is a very wide question. There are a lot of improvements, small improvements that we have made for the last year and difference, and we plan to make separate webinars dedicated to the push-pull units, and you will be invited, and there we will discuss all the details precisely. So let's let's stop today with some general information about those units. And yes, Martin, maybe you have some questions. Good. Okay, so I do not see any more questions and answers and in the chat. So at this point, I wanted to thank all of you that you have visited our roundtable, that you participated. Once again, it was a pleasure to see all of you, because we cannot see each other face by face this year. Hope soon this COVID situation will be solved and we will meet face by face somewhere, either in the office or in the restaurant. And I wish you all good luck and nice and successful year. And bye.
Wait a second. We also should tell, and also thank you for the factory workers, everybody in Ukraine, all the support what we get. Everybody. And also for our sales team in Ukraine.
Exactly. Without them, we wouldn't be here. So
Yes.
Yeah.
they've done a fantastic job through the COVID.
Yeah. I see that we have the best.
Until now, all delivery for China is no difference. It's a big supporter for China market.
Oh, well, you're lucky.
Yeah. All unit for China is always on time.
Oh, very, very lucky.
Okay, so thank you for today, and you're welcome to visit our digital booth and connect to our representatives and sales manager over there and schedule your further meetings. And once again, bye.
Bye. Okay. Bye. Spokojna noć.